Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Diz ASMR. My name is Jess, and the date today is May 6th, 2020. I've been wanting to make this podcast for a while now because many a times when I'm relaxing, either in the evening or falling asleep, I love to listen to Disney content, either on YouTube or a podcast. And there's times where, as I'm falling asleep, there could be a loud noise, someone laughs, kind of jolts me awake. And so I've been wanting to have content that I can fall asleep to, knowing that these things won't happen. So I'm hoping that other Disney fans would like content along those lines as well. So I figured, why not give it a shot and start my own podcast? So, like I said, this is the first ever episode, so please bear with me as I navigate and maybe learn some things here and there that will make this even better. But I really appreciate you listening, and I will have all podcasts up online or even on YouTube as well. So feel free to like and subscribe. And please leave me comments. I would love to engage with you. Please give me ideas as to what you would like me to talk about in these podcasts as well. So, like I said, the date is May 6, 2020, which means we are still in the middle of the global pandemic. And as of right now, all Disney theme parks are still closed throughout the world. Now, it looks like on May 11th, Shanghai will be opening up. And so I'm excited to see just how they go about it. I heard that they will be using a QR system that shows who is healthy, that they will be able to get into the parks through that. Now, I know here in the States, we unfortunately don't have these types of things. So I'm curious as to when we will actually open, what will be required. There's a lot of different factors that people are bringing up in regards to this, as to maybe a face mask or different things along that line, social distancing, standing 6 feet apart, maybe different spacing in lines along those lines. So we're just going to have to wait and see. There's a lot of speculation, like I said, back and forth. And to be honest, we don't really know. We could sit here and talk about it all day, but until everything gets implemented, we'll just have to wait and see. So I don't want this podcast to be all doom and gloom about that. I just wanted to recognize this date and what we are going through. So if there are any sort of advancements, I will bring them up in the podcast, even just as a little bit of a time capsule to show what we are going through at this time. But this podcast will always be uplifting and happy. So please never worry that this is going to be a negative space by any means. Even the comments, even what we talk about, just all positive, because that's what we need right now. So I thought for my very first podcast, I would just love to talk about some of the different things that I'm looking forward to doing once we are able to get back into the parks. So I thought that I would first start off with the Magic Kingdom. So the Magic Kingdom is by far my favorite park. And don't get me wrong, I love all four of them in their each individual ways. But if someone said you can only go to one park, that's the one that I would choose. And it's for the reason of just the way that that park makes me feel. I don't know, I don't know if it's the childhood wonderment, just the magic of it all. When I go through that line go underneath the railroad in the tunnel and come out and start walking down Main Street, I don't think I'm ever as happy as during those moments. So I love Main Street so much in its own way. It's one of my favorite lands, if that's what you would like to call it, one of my favorite places. And I just love taking in the different shops, getting a Starbucks, just really relaxing and taking in that environment there. I even like just after getting my Starbucks, just kind of sitting back, maybe against one of the buildings and watching the families come in. And if you haven't done this in the past, I really encourage you to do so. As long as you don't have somewhere to be, as long as you don't have that fast pass that you are running for, just really taking your time. And if you sit back and watch the families come in and the children and how excited they are to see the castle, it is just, it puts you in such a good mood. It puts you in such a right frame of mind for the day, just how happy everybody is. So, one of my absolute favorite things to do. And in Magic Kingdom, I think for this podcast, I'll take one ride in each park as my favorites. And then maybe in a different podcast, I'll break down the parks a little bit more. But in Magic Kingdom, my favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean. I have to go on this ride at least 3 times while I'm there. There's just something about it when you walk up, even before you get to the ride, when you are walking up, I absolutely love the ambiance. You are listening to probably a soundtrack from Pirates, the movie by Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is my favorite composer, so I'm sure that helps too, getting me in the right frame of mind and how happy I am. So, as you walk into just the smell, and now if anyone else is as obsessed with Disney smells as I am, you understand. This is one of the top Disney smells, just taking in that Disney water smell. And two, let's be honest, it is usually extremely hot in Florida, right? So if you have been walking around, maybe it's been a very humid, hot, scorching day, and you walk in to Pirates and you feel like that coolness around you. The walls are cool, a little damp too. And just it instantly can just bring down that body heat a little bit. That in itself can put you in a good mood, make you happy. And as you start traveling down, getting into that boat, once you get into that boat, the fog and just, I just feel like Pirates really just surrounds you with the theming in this ride, which I really appreciate. So, yeah, just everything about it, knowing that it's a classic Disney ride too, that Walt had a lot to do with making this ride also makes me happy. Now, not necessarily the one in Disney World, but just knowing the history behind it as well. And I will say I'm a little biased. I do love the pirate movies as well. So that also helps. So, yes, my top pick in the Magic Kingdom is Pirates of the Caribbean. So now let's head over to Epcot. I absolutely love Epcot. Oh, and it killed me. I was just there in March, right before all this craziness happened with the quarantine. And we were in Epcot because I wanted to ride Spaceship Earth one last time before it is refurbished. And I'll have to say, I will be very, very happy when all of this construction is over with. It was so sad walking into Epcot, everything in Future Worlds, just walls everywhere. You couldn't even walk down the main area. They're tearing out all the fountains, and I just saw a recent aerial view from a helicopter, I'm assuming, and all the fountains are gone. They have been cemented over. So I am very excited to see what will come about. But it is a little sad. Even once it opens back up, it will still be sad for a little bit while they are working on all that construction. But I would have to say in Epcot, my number one ride, hmm, I think I would have to still go with Spaceship Earth. I just, I love that ride so much. I love getting into your, I don't know what you want to call it, your ride vehicle. Let's just call it that. You get in your ride vehicle and you start heading up, and there's just so many different ways to interact with this ride. And starting out, you see the caveman scene, the woolly mammoth. The light kind of starts to adjust for your eyes, and you start working your way through time. And granted, it may help that I've always loved history. So, this kind of has a special place in my heart. You get to see how things have evolved over time, but also I think this will be a running theme for me with these podcasts are the smells. Epcot, there's so many Epcot smells, but Spaceship Earth with Rome burning, oh, I absolutely love it. There's just so many different smells on this ride as well. So I love to, towards the end of the ride, takes you, you see the globe. It's so nice. And then that descent, that backwards descent, how fun. No other ride like it. My sister was always very scared of this. She always thought we would gonna tumble out of the ride vehicle, but then the interaction and all that. So the thing I'm a little nervous about is the refurb with this ride. Now at D23, it made it seem like this is going to be absolutely magical once it is finished, and I really hope it is. But I do love that interaction at the end with the ride vehicle. You can choose how you want to live out the future, the different advancements in technology. And I love picking new things each time, even if it's not what I want, actually, but choosing different things. So I really hope that they don't get rid of that completely. Maybe update it would be nice, have some new options or different types of technology that we'd be able to use in the future. So yes, my Epcot choice is Spaceship Earth. So next, let's head over to Hollywood Studios, or what I still like to call MGM at times. That's how you know I'm not too young when I am calling it MGM. So, there at Hollywood Studios, I will say that I have been to Disney World 3 times within the last 6 months, and unfortunately, I have not been able to make it over to Hollywood Studios due to the fact that the tickets that I am able to use are cast member tickets, and they have been blacked out for a while. Ever since everything opened with the new Star Wars land, it has been blacked out. So I have not been able to see all the new things in Star Wars, which I am dying to see. I really want to see all those things. And not only that, but the Mickey and Minnie's runway or railroad. I really, really want to see that as well. All the colors look absolutely amazing. So I even told my friend about a week ago, hey, if I need to pay for this ticket, I'm willing at this point because I am dying to get over there. But for the rides that I have been on, so if we are excluding Star Wars, the new rides, and if we're excluding Mickey and Minnie's new ride, I am going to have to go with the Tower of Terror. this is probably my second favorite ride overall. I love the Tower of Terror. Again, that ambiance that ride provides, it really immerses you when you are even walking up to it. So when you are going down that road towards it, I mean, you see it way, way far down, and you start getting closer and closer. You start hearing some of the area music, you start hearing some of the screams. There's just so many different things. And then, too, once you start walking up, I love when the cast members are in character, maybe a little creepy. That sign, the Hollywood Tower Hotel sign changes. You start walking in. Just that eerie music that you are hearing as you're walking up. And of course, once you get into that lobby, the cobwebs, um, all the different things from the 30s that you're seeing, the different props. I absolutely love it. It is amazing. And probably, I would say if I do absolutely love the drop, the thrill of the drop, the anticipation of the drop, absolutely amazing. But if I had to choose my favorite part of the ride, I think it would be the pre-show. I just love walking into that library, all the doors close, um, and that creepy TV, the static, and it turns on, and your full attention is over there. And I will have to say, we have had some of the best cast member interactions on this ride. And I'll have to tell this story on a different podcast because it's a little long, but the best cast member interaction I have ever had was with my family and a cast member here in the library. Absolutely amazing. I even went and turned around as we were walking out and thanked her myself just because of how good this cast member was here. So, again, just the ambiance of the Tower of Terror. I'm missing it so much right now. The other night, I just put on that eerie area music on YouTube and just had it in the background. Um, just one of my favorite things. So, yes, at Hollywood Studios, it would be Tower of Terror. And so, our last and final park, Animal Kingdom. Now, Animal Kingdom has a lot of rides that I like. Animal Kingdom isn't always my go to park, um, but the more I think about it, the more things I absolutely love here at Animal Kingdom. Now, if someone said you can only ride one ride, oof, it's so hard to say. And if fast passes aren't involved, um, I don't know. There's so many rides, but if I had to pick my actual favorite ride, it would have to be Flight of Passage. I love the land of Pandora there. It is just absolutely amazing, especially at nighttime with the fluorescent lights. So I absolutely love that. And then too, that queue is so cool. I absolutely love how it makes you feel like you're with that tree. The fluorescent lights as well. They're in the queue. Very, very cool. And then of course that humongous avatar that is also very cool as to what they're able to do with certain things. I mean, he looks so lifelike. I absolutely love it. But of course, going on that ride, experiencing the thrill, it was so funny the last time me and my friend rode it. I think it was when that orca comes up and like splashes you. She screamed at the top of her lungs. I mean, we've been on this ride I don't know how many times. She knows it doesn't splash you. But that's just, again, with this ride, how immersive it is. And like I said, this is going to be a theme with me. The smells, oh my goodness, the smell on Flight of Passage, just absolutely amazing, just so immersive. There are times on that ride where it makes you feel like you're falling, and I will just relax, take a deep breath in. It makes you feel like you're just flying through the air, and it is just so amazing. So I would have to say, and this one was hard for me, Animal Kingdom would have to be Flight of Passage. So those are my top 4 rides. Maybe not the ones in order that I would pick, but my top 4, one in each park that is a must do. I think that those 4 are must do's in my book. So thank you so much again for listening to the first ever podcast of Diz ASMR. And feel free again to leave any sort of like, comment, subscribe if you're over on YouTube. And please leave me suggestions on what you would like. I did name this as Diz ASMR. I will have some ASMR things at times, maybe different ears that I have, pins, but mainly ASMR as to being quiet, knowing that there isn't going to be a lot of noise, so you can sit back and relax. And I do want to preface that by saying that there may be ads running on this, especially I believe they said at the beginning, so I do apologize for that. But while you are sitting back, relaxing, once this podcast gets started, don't worry about that. Just enjoy, and I hope that this content is relaxing for you and something that you will look forward to listening to as well in future episodes. So, with that, I will say thank you very much again for listening to this first ever episode, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.